Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone seems to have too much control over you? Perhaps you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells, trying to keep them happy, or wondering why they always seem to come out ahead, no matter what you do. If that sounds familiar, you might be dealing with a narcissist, someone who sees the world as revolving around themselves. But what if I told you that there is a way to regain control, break free from their manipulative grip, and take away their power with just one simple action? It may sound too good to be true, but stick with me. And by the end of this video, you'll not only understand how narcissists operate, but also learn the key action that can turn the tables in your favor. Narcissism isn't just a buzzword or a passing trend. It's a deeply ingrained behavioral pattern that can have serious consequences for the people around the narcissist. Whether you're dealing with them in the workplace, a romantic relationship, or even within your family, narcissists can make life feel incredibly difficult. They have a knack for manipulating, belittling, and isolating those they target, all while maintaining an air of superiority. But despite their often intimidating behavior, narcissists have one glaring weakness, a very specific Achilles heel that can be exploited with a single, powerful action. So what is this game-changing move? Let's take a closer look. To effectively understand how to dismantle a narcissist's power, it's crucial to dive into the core dynamics of narcissism itself. Narcissists thrive on constant attention, admiration, and control. They demand these things from those around them, typically without offering anything in return. This inflated sense of superiority allows them to justify mistreating others, but it also creates a vulnerability, because the narcissist's self-worth is built on a fragile foundation. They don't just crave validation, they absolutely need it to feel complete. If that source of validation is removed, their entire sense of self begins to unravel. This is where the simple yet powerful action comes in. By taking away the very thing that fuels the narcissist's inflated sense of self, their validation, you can strip them of their power. When they no longer have the constant stream of attention and admiration they demand, they begin to lose their grip on the situation. This can leave them vulnerable, unsure of themselves, and suddenly much less able to maintain the control they once had over you. The shift in power dynamics can be striking. The key to executing this strategy lies in your ability to recognize the narcissist's dependence on your approval. The moment you stop feeding into their need for constant validation, you create a powerful disruption. No longer will their charm, manipulation, or belittling behavior have the same effect. You might notice a shift in their behavior, whether it's frustration, anger, or confusion, as they begin to lose control. This can be unsettling at first, but it's essential to remember that you are not only taking back control for yourself, but also helping the narcissist confront their own insecurities. Dealing with a narcissist doesn't have to be a constant struggle. By understanding the core dynamics of narcissism and taking away the one thing they need to thrive, their validation, you can regain control and dismantle their power. While it may feel daunting, remember that you hold the key to breaking free from their grip. With the right knowledge and a single powerful action, you can turn the tables and take back your power, putting an end to their manipulative behavior once and for all. It might sound simple, but the psychological shift is profound. Narcissists often feed off the attention and admiration they receive, and without it, they lose their grip on the people around them. This doesn't mean you have to engage in a confrontation or actively try to change their behavior. Instead, the key is to stop enabling them. Stop feeding their ego with praise, stop seeking their approval, and stop giving in to their demands for attention. The absence of validation will cause them to question their worth, and in many cases, they will start to unravel. But how exactly do you stop enabling a narcissist without creating conflict or drama? The answer lies in setting boundaries. Narcissists will test your limits, constantly pushing to see how far they can go. When you set clear, firm boundaries and refuse to tolerate manipulative behavior, you send a message that you're no longer available for their games. They can no longer control you through guilt, charm, or intimidation. This shift in dynamic can be extremely destabilizing for the narcissist, and it will force them to reconsider their approach. Another powerful tactic is simply disengaging emotionally. Narcissists thrive on your reactions, whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration. When they see that they can't get under your skin, it disrupts their sense of control. Remaining calm and emotionally neutral in the face of their provocations is like taking away their power source. They'll struggle to maintain their grip on the situation because they feed off your emotional responses. The more you refuse to give them the satisfaction of seeing you rattled, the more they'll lose their grip on you. It's also important to understand that narcissists can't change unless they want to. No matter how much you try to reason with them or make them see the error of their ways, they won't respond to logic or empathy. Narcissists view themselves as infallible, so they'll never admit to any faults or take responsibility for their actions. That's why the key action isn't about changing them. It's about changing your own responses and interactions. When you stop enabling them and refuse to give them the emotional energy they crave, you take away their power without having to confront them directly. While this approach may seem passive, it's incredibly effective because it takes away the narcissist's ability to manipulate the situation. As they begin to see that they can no longer control you or anyone else around them, they may try to escalate their tactics. They might become more hostile, more demanding, or even try to manipulate others to get back at you. But the more you stand your ground and stick to your boundaries, the more likely they are to move on to someone else who will feed their ego. Narcissists are like predators. They seek out easy targets. When you stop being one, they lose interest. One crucial aspect to remember is that narcissists don't just target their victims randomly. They specifically look for people who are empathetic, kind, and willing to give them attention. So when you stop giving them what they want, you don't just lose your power, you regain it. The narcissist no longer has the upper hand because you no longer serve their needs. This simple action, which is setting boundaries and refusing to provide validation, might seem small, but it can have a profound impact. It's like pulling the rug out from under them. Suddenly, they have nothing to stand on. Without their ability to manipulate and control, their false sense of superiority begins to crumble. It's not a quick fix, but over time, you'll start to see the narcissist's power diminish, and with it, your peace of mind and self-respect will return. In conclusion, if you find yourself dealing with a narcissist, don't waste your time trying to change them. The only person you can control is yourself, and by refusing to feed their ego, setting firm boundaries, and disengaging emotionally, you take back your power. You might not see immediate results, but in time, the narcissist will realize that you're no longer an easy target, and their influence over you will begin to fade. It's a simple, yet incredibly effective action, and it's one that can ultimately free you from their grip. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this discussion. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with anyone who might benefit from it. Your support means the world, and together, we can empower each other to break free from toxic relationships and regain our strength. Until next time, stay strong and remember, you have the power to take back control.